MotoGP social channels because there's such a great video of Valentino making his way from the ranch to Tavuglia all the way here.
Riding his MotoGP bike on the street from Tavuglia to Misano. Doesn't get much better than that. I think Rossi might have just arrived, actually.
Well, okay, that
I don't think it's for Steve Day turning up to host the press conference.
I don't think it is, but we will head over to Steve Day now. Matt, great to talk to you as always. That's us. That's it from us, and we'll head over now to Steve Day for our press conference.
Okay, we're here then for round 13 of the MotoGP World Championship at the Misano World Circuit Marco Simoncelli for the Octo Grand Prix of San Marino. With us today, we have, of course, World Championship leader Marc Marquez, 78 points clear now, and a winner here in MotoGP in 2015 and 2017. Second overall in the championship, Andrea Dovizioso is with us ahead of his home Grand Prix, last year's race winner, of course. Silverstone race winner Alex Rins is here as well, third overall in the World Championship and fourth here last season. Fifth in the World Championship after his third place at Silverstone, we have Maverick Vinales. Also here, of course, Valentino Rossi is back at home, a 3 times winner in Misano in MotoGP. And also, we're joined by another home rider as Lorenzo Dalla Porta features the Moto3 World Championship leader who won his first Grand Prix here 1 year ago. Amy Dargan is here to ask the MotoGP fan questions a bit later on, but of course we'll start with you, Mark. Frustrating as it may be to have finished second in the last 2 races, great races. You're winning the war at the moment, 78 points clear. I think after the dust had settled after Silverstone, I'm sure that you feel in a really, really happy and strong position. Was it a positive test here in Misano as well? And how are you feeling with 7 races to go? Because effectively, you could just finish on the podium now for every race, and it's yours.
Yeah, of course, last 2 races was not the best last corner for us, but anyway, happy because especially in Silverstone was one of the circuits that last year we were struggling a lot, and this year we were there. So yeah, and then Misano test I think was quite interesting. We will check this weekend because everybody, the race pace was not so fast, I mean compared last year, but we were competitive. So especially Yamaha riders, they were very fast. Dovizioso was not 100% fit, but he will be fast. He's the winner of last year. And part of that, now we have a good advantage in the championship. So yeah, maybe we need to be calm, just try to finish races, and let's see what's happening in the future.
You've won 5 races here before across all of the classes. It looks like the weather's going to stay stable and sunny all weekend. What is the key to success around this circuit? Because it's quite technical, despite a few fast points.
The key is so difficult to be consistent every lap. I mean, have 2-3 hard break points that is difficult to be consistent, and especially all the sector 3, also the fast corners. To be consistent there during all the race distance is difficult, but anyway, it's a racetrack that I like it, and yeah, we will start in a good way. I mean, we have some new things that we try in the test. We will recheck again, but anyway, now in our box we don't need to be crazy. Just with the base what we have, try to find the 100% every weekend, and yeah, take points is the most important.
Thanks very much, Mark. We now move on to Andrea Dovizioso. Andrea, a horrible crash for you, of course, last time out at Silverstone. Quite unfortunate, I think it's fair to say. I don't think you knew much about it at the time, but just tell us how you are feeling ahead of this Grand Prix. Are you 100%? And what were you actually expecting when you woke up on Sunday morning? What sort of result did you think you were capable of?
Well, you never know the result. I mean, the race was a bit strange, but I think it was really hot, so it was difficult for everybody, I think, to manage the tires. But for sure, we have a chance to fight for the podium. I feel good, fortunately. We worked really hard at home after the race, and I was able to make a test. It was very important to make a test here before the race. The feeling wasn't perfect at the test, but it was important to make some laps. I feel good. I'm happy. I'm fit 100%. I mean, I did some motocross training to be sure if everything worked well, and I'm ready. This is an important weekend for us. Last year we did a special race, but I expect a different weekend, a bit different weekend than last year, because the competitors are very strong. In the test, a lot of riders have a really good pace, but you know the race weekend is always different, and the conditions maybe are a bit different, and we have to see the grip we can find, because at the test it was different than last year. So we will see if it will be the same as the test or different, and that will affect, I think, every bike.
Before Silverstone, you were 58 points behind Mark. Was there any faint hope in your mind at that point the championship was still vaguely alive from your perspective? Because obviously now it's 78. It seems like a bridge too far for so many. Or does that change your mindset at all in your approach for the rest of the year? No,
will not change, because I think my best way to make the result is in the same way I'm racing until now. So that will not affect for the championship, you know. 78 points is a big gap, but it's even bigger if you're thinking about to recover the points to Mark. So that is the point. It's not just about 78 points. So there is no big reason to thinking about championship, especially because our speed in some race was really good, in some race no. So we have to improve that thing. Thank you very much, Andrea.
We now move on to third in the championship, Alex Rins. Alex, a fantastic victory for you at Silverstone. Just how many times have you watched that race back? It didn't look like it was possible for you to win from where you were going into the last few corners. And how much belief and confidence has that result given you in the 2 weeks that have passed?
Well, as you said, it was unbelievable to get the victory there in Silverstone, especially for the battle, no, for the fight I had with Mark. I saw the race like 6 or 7 times, and well, after that victory, I think we are a little bit more stronger on race. You can see, no, on race that I'm able to fight. So we arrive here after a good test where we find some things, and 2 days of test, I think our setup is more or less clear, but will be difficult because all the riders will be there. It's a small track, so will be fun weekend.
At Silverstone on Friday, it seemed you worked exclusively on race pace and not so much the time. Your qualifying has improved quite a lot recently as well. Is this a new strategy for you, the Friday? Because it certainly worked out well.
Well, more or less during all the Fridays, we are trying to improve, to see the setup, to check, to do a lot of laps on the tires. Then now I'm ready, no, to do one lap before in the end of the championship, no, from this year. It was more difficult to do a fast lap. In Silverstone was not enough. We've been in Q1, so I will try to be more on the top positions.
Thank you very much, Alex. We now move on to Monster Yamaha rider Maverick Vinales. Maverick, Brno aside, the results recently have been quite positive. 3 podiums in your last 5 races. Do you feel that confidence coming and things going in the right direction ahead of Misano?
Yes, for sure. We're going to try to keep the momentum. I feel really good on the bike, and especially with myself, so confidence are really high. I will try to push the bike, as I said, as always, at the maximum. Try to keep a good level during all the weekend, and then on race be at the front. I will try my best as always. Test has been really good and really successful for me, so we're going to try the best.
There was a lot of curiosity about what Yamaha would bring to this test here in Misano. What can you actually tell us about what the new engine was like for next year and the different parts that you've tried? Are we going to see anything new this weekend?
Not too much, honestly. I focus a lot on improve myself on the bike for this race, so I focus a lot on that side.
Maverick, thank you very much. We now move on to Valentino Rossi. Valentino, before we talk about racing, welcome back home. We have to talk about what happened here on Tuesday, where you had the opportunity to ride your Yamaha M1 through your hometown of Tavuglia all the way to Misano. Just tell us how you felt and what a magical day that must have been for you.
Yeah, it was a great moment because was a dream that I had when I was a child, and we know very well that road because we always go up and down with our scooter because the road is funny, have a lot of corner. So I say one time it's good if I can try my M1 here in Tavuglia, and it was like this, and was funny. I have a good feeling also on the road. I expect more difficult, but the bike was okay.
The last couple of results for you, 4th place finishes. There've been improvements, obviously slightly frustrating, I'm sure, from Silverstone. What are you expecting here going forward? And did Tuesday maybe even give you even more motivation than you already needed?
Yeah, for sure. Here in Misano is always a special Grand Prix because it's really the home Grand Prix. And yeah, in the last races I was a bit better, but in Silverstone, after a solid weekend in the race, I want to try to fight for the podium, but I was not strong enough. So we will try another time here. We did some tests, some important tests, and there was my pace was quite good. I feel quite well with the bike. So we try. We are ready, and we see if we are strong enough for fight for the podium.
Valentino, thank you very much. Finally, we come to the far end and speak to Lorenzo Dalla Porta. Lorenzo, it has been quite a year for you. 12 months ago, your first ever Grand Prix victory here, and now you're the Moto3 World Championship leader. This must feel like the greatest moment of your life at the moment.
Yeah, last year I did my first victory here, and it's been a very important thing for me, and so impressive because I don't expect it. But this year I have done a lot of good results so far. So I'm so happy now, and then I'm trying to good race only. I did a lot of laps for first. So I don't know. I'm so excited to start this weekend and try to do a good race.
And now you can fully concentrate on the Moto3 World Championship as well, because you've got your future secured for next year in Moto2 with the Italtrans team, joining your old teammate Enea Bastianini again. You must be excited about that.
Yeah, I joined Italtrans team. I think it's a fantastic team. For me, it will be to do experience the first year, but I'm so excited to try the bike. I never try a 600 bike at the moment, so I hope to try the bike as soon as possible, but now I have to be focused in this season.
Thank you very much, Lorenzo. That's it from me. Ladies and gentlemen, floor questions, please.
Vale. Here on your right. Your top speed between the circuit and Tavuglia with the M1?
The speed?
Yes.
I make 170.
So bad, eh? A penalty for you, or no?
No, but I think that it's possible. Eh? The road was closed. I have helmet.
Yes, I've got two questions for Valentino and for Andrea. Andrea, after the crash, I'm sure you look back, you saw the crash yourself again. What do you remember of the crash? Because we heard that initially you didn't remember anything and then you came back. And for Valentino, you just said a little bit about the test. You told us a little bit about the test. Could you tell us also about the carbon swing arm and about the exhaust?
No, I remember everything. Everything come back after 40 minutes. I mean, at the beginning, I was normal. After I forgot in the way I crashed. And when Tardozzi explained me again, I realized it wasn't my fault, so I became so angry. And after that, it was normal. So all was good. Rins lose the rear, and I think Quartararo was a bit scared. And everybody used the hard rear on the right. It wasn't ready, because everybody put a new tire on the grid. So everybody did just one lap, and I feel the tire wasn't ready 100%. And on the first corner, if you are very aggressive, you can lose the rear. And Quartararo, I think, closed the throttle and make high side, but I was too close and I couldn't make anything.
Yeah, we test some important things. I feel good, not so bad. It's not a big difference, but I like the swing arm. I like the pipe, the new exhaust that is a bit better for dancing character. It's not a big difference, but anyway, we work. Yamaha work looks like that work in a good way, and the feeling after the test was positive.
Question for Lorenzo. Who will be the main rival in this track?
I think Canet will be the biggest problem. But I don't know, because the Moto3, it's so difficult to understand it before to start the practice, and then also in the race we don't know he can win, because the last lap are so crazy. But yeah, I think Canet, because he's so fast in more or less all the tracks, so I think him, and also Arbolino.
Another question for you, Lorenzo. How do you see the last part of the season, your chance for the title, and who will be, in your opinion, your most dangerous opponent?
Nothing at the moment. We have done a good season. Now I like a lot the other tracks that we have to do. So I'm so confident on it, and I don't know. We will see.
For three Spanish riders, Mark, Alex, and Maverick, to win here in Italy will be more special for the battle between Spain and Italy always, or no?
Well, next week we are in Spain, so more or less it's the same. It's the same. I mean, for me it's 25 points here and 25 points more in the game next week. So yeah, in the end it's the same. Of course, you prefer to race in front local fans, but anyway, it's a circuit, and when you are on the racetrack with the helmet on, you don't remember, or you don't care about where you are.
Well, for me, I think it's the same. Race here in Italy or in Aragon, it's one more track of fun, no? And it's like this.
I think when you race in Italy or in Spain, the atmosphere is always really nice, really intense. So winning in these both countries is always very special and really good.
Once again, for Mark, Alex, and Maverick, next year we'll have 20 races and still 4 in Spain. What do you think of this situation? Do you think it's time to reduce the number of races in Spain, or for you it's something which has to stay like this?
Yeah, the people speak about to reduce the races in Spain, but the problem is that all 4 races are full of fans. So in the end, are a good circuit, good races, good show. So for me, like a Spanish riders, if it's 5 races, even better. So it's okay for me.
Will be for sure will be a shame to lose one Spanish race, because especially for me, racing in Jerez, Aragon, Catalonia or Valencia, there are tracks that I enjoy a lot, no? So the people are talking about this, but for me, I would like to keep it like this.
Yeah, for sure will be a shame, because all 4 tracks are fantastic. Atmosphere, layout, races, so for sure losing one home Grand Prix is always a shame.
Mark, a question for you. Some people say in the last 2 GP you have some problem of fuel in the last lap. Is true?
Yeah. No, in Silverstone, basically because I pushed all the race in front, and I had problem with the rear tire. That was a big holes and the fuel. But it's normal when you like a demanding track like Silverstone. You push all the laps, you're 100% for try to achieve your goal. It's normal. But yeah, it's like. But I think everybody was on the out lap. You can check immediately when in the out lap everybody's slow and everybody's playing with the gas. It means that the fuel consumption is a problem for everybody. No, here no. Here you can be full every lap.
Any more questions? No, that's it. Okay, over to Amy with social media questions.
Okay, if we can have a little bit of quiet, please. The social media questions this week are from the Reddit forum. So we'll start off with Mark. Mark, your question comes from Jodie E. Burley, and she's asked you, can you describe how motocross skills help you with riding a MotoGP bike?
If you know, the thing is that I born in motocross, so for me it's more than a training part, also is a passion. So yeah, I like it to ride a motocross bikes. But then also, you know, in a motocross track with a motocross bike, every lap is different. I mean, you arrive from one lap to the other one, and if it's more riders in the track, then the lines change, and then you need to react so quick to just manage the weight to don't lose the speed, but ride in a different way. And yeah, I think motocross helps a lot to save or to save this kind of crashes or to react well on the bike, on a MotoGP bike.
And it's pretty fun.
Upside, yes. Inside, no.
Thank you. Andre, your question comes from 12K Sordal, and they've asked you, which track on the calendar would you like to ride in the opposite direction?
Well, in Misano, we race in the opposite direction. We start every Italian riders, I mean, not the youngest, but we start in a different direction. My first race I did here in 2000, and it was opposite, so it can be nice.
Is there another one?
Well, I hate the left corners. Maybe we can do Saxby on the right.
Thank you. Valentino, we're coming to you now. Your question comes from Raul Rashdan, and they've asked you, what did you think about Lando Norris's hat and helmet in Monza?
Yeah, I'm very happy. I'm very proud. For me, it's an honor because at the beginning of the season, arrive new drivers like Lando or also Albon, that they said that they growing up follow MotoGP, follow me, so they are my fan, yeah. And it's something good. I like the feeling, especially because they are two drivers very strong, and Lando did a great job, so it was a great pleasure. Yes, now we swap the helmet as soon as possible.
Did you meet him in Silverstone? Do I remember that rightly?
Sorry?
Did you meet Lando in Silverstone?
Yeah. I meet Lando in Silverstone, and he's a very good guy, and he's very young because he's 19. Yeah. But he's already very clever, and looks like he's have a lot more experience than his age. So I'm also his fan.
Thanks, Valentino. We will come now to Alex. Your question comes from Leon, and they would like to know, what advice would you give to a track day rider to improve their lap time?
Usually, when I was more young, and I was training with the bikes on the long tracks like Montmeló, Valencia. You saw a lot of riders with 600 or with the 1000 bike braking very early. so like in the middle of the straight. So just try to, the point you will brake, do like 1, 2, and 3, and brake. Maybe can improve the lap time.
Basically, they need to be braver.
Yeah.
Thanks, Alex. Maverick, your question comes from S Model BGM, and they've asked you, do you collect anything? And if not, is there anything you would like to collect?
Well, actually, I collect, you know, sometimes some people bring draws from you. You know, they paint you on paper. So I collect that, I put at home. I have many. I put one photo, I think the guy who paint recognize in Instagram. So I put at home, it's very nice. I collect that.
Thank you. And finally, we come to Lorenzo. And Naughty Benny has asked you, if you could ride a famous MotoGP bike from history, what would it be?
I don't know. Difficult question, eh? Maybe, for sure, a two-stroke bike, 500.
Yeah.
I think the last bike when Valentino rode in 2001, because nothing. I love the two-stroke bikes, and I'm curiously, this.
Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. Really interesting answers.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good weekend, all of you. If I could ask you to please stand for the photo. Everyone behind me, just remain seated for now. Thank you very much. Thank you.